evening, and welcome to Iconic Productions Friday Night Show. I'm Josh, the Dungeon Master and World Builder for our mostly 5th edition D&D campaign. It gets worse. With us tonight, we have Yoshi playing Constantine, the half-orc fighter. We've got, not Vera, Grace playing Vera, the halfling grandmother rogue, slash monk. We have an empty screen playing Almania, the former Dragonborn, and now Ravenfolk. Mary will be here in a second. Ravenfolk, Bard, Sorcerer. We have no Beth tonight, but we're gonna continue right along with this adventure, that's not how we do this. And when we last left our heroes, there we go. Mary, I don't know if you can hear without, I don't know if you're using headphones, but we're doing a recap, so if you can hear, listen. I didn't actually write anything, did I? When we last left our heroes, they were continuing their attempts to build a resistance to overthrow the forces of the Blood Goddess in Onishere, the home city of, at this point, like maybe a third of the party. No longer the home city of the whole party. You guys had gathered remnants of one of the monster hunting guilds and sent them to join Vera's son, who is running a thieves' compound in the Slacks that appears to be the last serious holdout against the ghouls in the entire city, really. You had rescued a number of people from some strange eye-eating cricket things underneath the city, and gathered them in an abandoned tenement building, and very recently you had finally made contact with the Death Watch, an undead hunting guild in the city that had been almost completely wiped out months and months ago after you guys had left the city. You met the Witchlight, the head of the guild, and discussed plans with her, and while she is certainly against Samvalhain and the Red Goddess, and, well, anything undead, was not quite willing to throw in with you guys because you insist on keeping Damya, your tiefling companion, actively working with the party. And as the spawn of demons, Witchlight Nerdwheel Noro did not trust her and would not be part of any plan, the details of which were known to Damya. However, she did direct you to the Death Watch headquarters, told you where to find some hidden equipment. You gained a large number of oils and potions and some armor and well-made weapons. She counseled you on a plan for attacking Samvalhain, as she found the plan of attacking the council district and running away foolish, as it relied on your enemy abandoning every advantage that he has to chase you down. So, I think the tentative plan was to use your portal stones, gather a strike force, have somebody infiltrate with the portal stone, and then have everybody else pop out and attempt to kill Samvalhain before his guards could show up. So that idea is in the works. Vera, you are trying to meet with some Freemans nearby to set up some planning with them as well, using your granddaughter Theodosia as the go-between. And there's also, I didn't actually tell you this last time, but you also know kind of the most common weaknesses and strengths of vampires, as the Witchlight would have told you that before you left, and I just forgot. So, to actually destroy them, you need to find them in their sleeping place, drive a blessed stake through the heart, and cut off the head. nothing else will destroy them. Everything else will just kind of, it will drive them away, but they will reform and return. If you can identify their obsession, you can find various ways to manipulate them using that. They are averse to faith, running water, and sunlight. Strengths, shape-shifting, super fast, super strong. Unlike most undead, they can learn. And they excel at infiltration. I'm sorry, we left. I think we left off right as the party had just stolen a food cart from one of the upper middle class districts in the city and drove it careening through the city after some truly absurd athletics from Constantine. We'll, I guess we'll pick up with you guys have come careening around the corner to the tenement building where you have all of your rescuees. Karina and Althalos have returned from reporting to what you guys had learned the previous day to Benji, and they kind of help you unload. You have several days. I mean, for the 40 or so people that you are responsible for at the moment, you have about 2 or 3 days of normal rations. With some severe rationing, you could definitely stretch that out quite a bit. So it is full-on night. The sun has gone down. You guys have unloaded. Everybody is tucked into corners eating, and I believe it is I think you have tomorrow. And then the next day, nope, it's, sorry, you've got 2 days, and then on the night of the 3rd is the Red Moon. So what is the plan? You are muted. There we go.
Yes, sorry. So I've got a little to-do list, at least for Vera. To do number 1, even though Karina just came back, is to let Benji in on the crazy assassinate Samblehain plan, and if he wants in on the strike force, because I've already told him about where the other end of that is, as in where the tower is, etc.
Right.
We should name it.
We should name it. We should have it also like SEAL Team 6 name. Eventually, we need a SEAL Team 6 name. That's also on the to-do list. Come up with an awesome Strike Force name.
So pat Karina on the back and send her back out.
Yes, if she's feeling okay with that.
Okay.
And next is to find out a way to communicate. If I'm going in to Samblehain's alone, I need to tell the Strike SEAL Team 6 that I'm in position. So I might talk about that with like Beth. Like, could I talk to her through her bug? I might send that in the note to Benji. Like, do you have any communication stones or something that you've been able to use?
So definitely asking for ways of communicating. Okay.
For a two-way radio, and then my last one is if anybody still has ascending, to contact Theodosia to set up that meet, and just in general to get a schedule for the next 2 days down. Because I'm thinking doing the infiltration the day after tomorrow. In the daytime.
Okay, so the day before everything goes down.
Yes.
Okay.
So not the day of the Red Moon, but the day before. Which means I'd have to meet with Theodosia sometime tomorrow, probably.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Okay. Communication. Okay. Constantine, what's on your list? Besides coming up with a sweet name for this strike force.
Oh, I should come up with a banner too. I don't really have any plans.
Okay.
Just kind of waiting and making sure everything's prepped for what we're doing. If I need to talk to people and let people in on what it is that we're doing, I can do that.
Okay. While you guys, what are your plans for the all of these people that you have in this building with you? You've taken some steps to not really defend the building, but set up some traps. So 2 of the stairwells are rigged to collapse if too many people are on them. Are you guys just leaving the people here? What's the plan?
Well, unfortunately, I still think for this strike team, we're going to need all of our NPCs, like Karina and everybody we've been leaving. So setting up some kind of chain of command with the sighted people here. I know we had a few people who could fight. So having sentries or something and setting up a system for that. But otherwise, basically, I would say tell them to hunker down and like ration out the food supplies, and
Okay.
hopefully this will be over-ish or something in 3 days.
Alphalos is requesting blankets and water. Because you guys have food. You don't really have any water here, and it's late summer, but it can still get cold here, and he is worried about disease. I mean, everybody's already malnourished.
There's no water in the wagon that we sold.
No,
Right.
the city has wells scattered all over the place.
It was covered, right? You could just use the covering from the wagon as blankets.
Not for 40 people. I mean, if you want to, you could make
We can
handkerchiefs.
sell
You could
them.
make handkerchiefs for everybody.
Could we set up a rain catching system? Like, are there barrels or something?
Sure. How do you want to do that?
Yeah. Do we got anybody who has any carpentry, or perhaps even one of the blinder people who had one who could set up like a barrel on the roof?
Yeah, you could check out the roof. It's going to rely on rain.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's the
your
only. It's
your
an option.
need the need for water is more immediate.
But if it happens, set up something.
Sure. So you can organize some people to basically setting up. You kind of take the canvas from the wagon and set it up kind of on poles, and then just have water run down to the center into like a barrel or something. Is a good plan for the future.
And didn't we have a guy in the compound who was one of the Create Food and Water people that we
Yeah,
rescued?
Econ is he can purify. He cannot create.
So where's the nearest well / public fountain?
Are you gonna go out and look for one?
Sure, I will. I'll take people with me. Like me and Karina, the rogues can go.
Yeah, give me that's Worcestershire. There we go. Give me a quick investigation check.
Investigation. Can she help me out?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, so you can roll that with advantage.
Alrighty. 12.
12. There is one about 100 not 100 miles, 100 yards.
God.
100 yards through the streets into kind of where several smaller tenement buildings kind of have their own little courtyard.
Cool. Can maybe Karina, since she's more nature-based, can she check and see if this water is sketchy or safe?
Well, as you guys get to the well, you can see that it is a makeshift kind of cover has been created, placed over the well, and nailed into it. So there is a very solid just lid that has been secured very well, to the top of the well.
And is our water system, does it go to the sewer system, or where is the well system
Roll a history check.
underneath? Oh, great. I'm great at that. Hang on. 16.
16. So there's a large river that runs underneath the city. A good portion of it dumps out into the harbor way down at sea level. But it has been studied, and not nearly as much water as can be observed going kind of under the wall actually comes out in the harbor. So there are plenty of streams that get diverted, end up creating small pools underneath various parts of the city, little lakes, and the wells have been dug down towards some of those. So depending on your well, you might just have a rope that actually goes down into just kind of an abyss, and then there's a lake or pond at the bottom. Others have actually been dug into just pockets of water that are supplied by the river, and you just dip it straight down.
And since this is my neighborhood, would I know like what the water table is for this neighborhood?
I'm not giving you a water table.
I'm remembering a certain assembly
Yeah.
about the water table.
Yes. The sure, you would know which ones kind of just dip down into kind of a self-contained water storage, and then which ones actually drop down into some kind of cavern
Cool.
in which
So
there's water.
Yeah, so is this one an isolated pocket one, or is this one into where something can come out?
This one definitely goes down into an area where there are tunnels.
Okay, so crap. So where is the nearest one that would be isolated?
Roll another investigation check.
Can Karina help me again?
Sure.
Awesome. 19.
19. Okay. There's one a little further away, and if you have a team whose job it is to actually go out and pull water from it, you're risking them getting attacked.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be unavoidable at some point.
Okay.
So is this one unsealed? Can get something out of it?
Yeah, there is a seal nearby, but you can also see people like just kind of leaned up against it, but there are people actively using this one.
Okay. So people have figured out the dangerous ones, clearly. So I'm just going to come back and report that to, I'm sorry, I keep mispronouncing his name. Is it Ethelos?
Alphalos.
Alphalos. I keep thinking Ethelos like Ethelos
Yeah.
plants from
No,
Lord of the Rings.
No, ever since you guys said that, I have not been able to think of anything else either, so.
Exactly. So I'll tell him exactly like where it is. And can I maybe tell him, because again, this is my neighborhood, like a slightly more roundabout, sneaky way to get there, like less exposed?
Yeah. He'll take it. He'll use it. But I think it's just him and one other person. Two other people in this group. One of whom is Mr. Self-Importance, as you guys have dubbed him.
Him.
Are the only ones who can see in this whole group.
Mm-hmm.
So one person going alone, I mean, it'll work. It's just going to be extremely dangerous. So anything that you can keep an eye out for, or any way of just getting larger amounts. I mean, you guys just showed up with a wagon of food. If you could show up with a wagon of water, that would be helpful as well. And then they still need blankets. So just something that he's asking you to keep an eye out for on your next foray.
Well, we now have a wagon, so we can definitely like do a trek and bring back a water supply.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any sunlight left. I might not do it in pitch night, but like in the morning.
No, there's definitely no sunlight left. It is
Okay.
full night. Okay.
So we can do that in the morning, do a water run. And just like start to plan, like if we can, to start to plan sort of guarded water runs whenever we're back here.
And then one thing I forgot to mention in the recap is Nerdwil Noro, her whatever help she's going to give is also conditional on retrieving the relics of the Death Watch.
Yes. Which she said were where again?
Well, she doesn't know.
They were in the warehouse.
Right. One of her last remaining fighter, Finethil, who she described as an orange-haired elf, was tracking them. He has not reported in for quite some time. What you guys know, and were able to share with the Witchlight, is you guys saw an orange-haired elf go running into the warehouse that you had set on fire, yelling something about relics.
Yeah. Great. We got one day, everybody.
So.
And you say we set the pace, and you're like, wait, no, we can't do that. We gotta wait and get
we
the
need
relics
water.
first.
No, I create a situation. You guys set the pace of the actual campaign.
Okay. So what do we say to sleeping tonight, or maybe if anybody's got a sending spell, I can contact Theodosia today, and then tomorrow go and try and get the relics, and then the day after that do the infiltration. So like tomorrow get the relics, actually decide on the strike team, and get them all into position, and then go at like dawn the day after tomorrow.
Okay, so the plan is day after tomorrow, dawn.
If we've gotten everything done, we need to get done.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Good. You guys get a long rest. What is the watch order?
Any sendings before the long rest available?
Sendings before the long rest. I'm sorry, no. Damia has prepared only combat and healing. You used all of Almania's this morning.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody else has it.
Okay. So can I ask Damia to like set aside one for tomorrow?
Sure.
Cool.
She will set aside ascending. Oh no, it's not setting aside. I'm sorry, different edition. You don't set aside castings. But yes, she will definitely prepare that for tomorrow.
Cool.
Okay. So who's taking first watch?
I'll take first one.
Roll a perception check.
Oh dear.
16.
16. In about an hour after you finish your watch. Nope. Sorry, start your watch. Wow. The disconnect between my brain and my mouth today is just even worse. About an hour into your watch, you hear footsteps stealthily approaching the building.
Interesting. I look. You go out and look at it.
Okay, give me a perception check with disadvantage. Disadvantage.
Oh, dang it. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, I don't see anything.
Just to be clear.
Fantastic. Peering out into the night, you look around and you just kind of stare for a while into the darkness. The light of the red moon illuminates everything fairly well, as it is nearly full. But still looking around, you don't see anything, and then you suddenly catch movement, and you see three figures kind of hurrying off away from the building.
Hurrying off away from the building?
Yes.
He stole something.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. What would Constantine do? I yell off into the darkness, you're welcome. You're welcome!
Okay.
You sing the song from Moana at
So-
the
several
I
people. Several people nearby kind of start up as you shout off into the night. You're welcome. No, it's okay. Just go back to sleep. And several people go back to sleep, cursing your name. Who is next on watch?
I'll go.
Okay, Vera. Roll a perception check.
Perception. 19.
19. Okay. A lot going on tonight. on your watch, kind of Constantine tells you, reports what he heard.
We've been hacked.
Use your
Yeah, we've been hacked. Can I check the supplies really fast?
Yoshi, I think there's a note for you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Can I check the supplies and see what they took real fast at the beginning of my watch?
I mean, you guys are on the 3rd floor, and all Constantine told you was he heard people approaching the building, and a few moments later saw shapes running away from the building. As you go through, it doesn't look like anything has been touched. You walk through all of the rooms, no evidence that anybody has been up there. You check the hallways. Doesn't look like there's... I mean, you guys have trampled the dust a fair bit, but it doesn't look like there's anybody who came through after you guys came up. You see Karina's footprints as when she left to go talk to Benji. She will return in the morning because she's free to stay in the camp. She doesn't have the Red Harvest. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So she has gone to talk to Benji, but she was not going to come back tonight. So you see her footprints. Nothing seems to be missing or out of place.
Okay.
But
So
in kind of towards the end of your watch, you hear much less stealthy. Mary, hello.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I saw your text.
5 minutes before we started, I was like, oh my gosh.
Totally fine. We're just, we'll burn your car in effigy to pay it back for all of the lost time.
God. Anyway, what are we doing?
Real quick, well, I'm about to describe what Vera knows of the encounter that's about to happen. But before then, do you have anything to add to the agenda for the next couple of days? So, basically, Vera has sent out word to gather people for the strike on Samvelheim, and figure out a way for whoever infiltrates the building to then communicate with everybody underneath the watchtower.
just to clarify, the plan is for me to infiltrate Samvelheim's alone, holding the transporter pylon, and then
Did we find the transporter pylon?
Yeah, we've had it this whole time.
It's in G.
Oh, you're right. We have had it.
Yeah.
I was like, for some reason, I was like, didn't we leave it with my brother? Why do we? How did you get it? Where's my brother?
You were not. I'm so sorry. You were not here last week.
I wasn't. No.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm clarifying.
The newest plan is, for Vera to infiltrate Samvelheim's mansion with the bag of holding and the portal pylon, and for everybody else to be sitting inside the portal room underneath the 3rd watchtower, and when she finds Samvelheim, pull it out of the bag and then tell everybody it's go time, and everybody teleports to her.
I love this plan.
And then we just assassinate Samvelheim, who's a very powerful vampire, because
He's
without
a
him...
vampire?
Yes.
What the fuck? What?
He's a very powerful ancient
My
vampire.
week has been utter chaos. I have not been able to look at anything from the past 2 weeks because my week has just been an absolute disaster.
The
He's
best
a
guess.
vampire?
The best guess at the moment is, Vera thought back to when you guys were on your very first patrol and you found yourselves inside one of Samvelheim's warehouses. It was boxes and boxes and boxes of dirt.
Okay.
Sleepy time dirt.
Putting that together and indicating to the head of the Death Watch, elite vampire and undead hunters, kind of giving those details and suspecting vampires, the head of the Death Watch said essentially, that sounds pretty plausible. If so, though, and if he comes from Dore Basso and has been able to kind of somehow hide the fact that he's a vampire for more than a year, being a councilman of this city, one of only 12 council people, is probably a very old and very powerful vampire.
Love you too, Jenny.
So best guess, Samvelheim's a very old vampire. He's highly intelligent, and at this point has basically won, because what you guys discovered is he has between 5,000 and 25,000 ghouls.
Soldiers, did you say?
What is it?
Did you say he has between 5,000 and 25,000 what? Soldiers?
Ghouls.
Ghouls.
Based
Oh,
on the number,
fuck, okay.
based on the number of people who are dead or missing and who have not been found, the estimates are between 5 and 25,000. The Witchlight, the head of the Death Watch, said her best guess is probably 10 to 12.
So we're pulling in episode 1. We're pulling a Phantom Menace, and we're going to take out the droid control ship.
Essentially, yes. 15, right? Even 10,000 ghouls, which is, well, in a city of about 80,000, minus 10 to 25,000 population who are now ghouls, right?
A tenth of the population. Holy frick.
And both your monster hunting guild and your undead hunting guilds have been more or less wiped out. Mary, can you actually still hear, or should I?
Sorry,
Okay, good. I'm just making sure because they know this already.
Talking, Josh.
Just get up and look. Fine. Just.
Sorry, getting a charger for my computer. I'm at my friend's house sitting, and so I'm all over the place. Okay, so Vera, what is your plan, or phrase, what is Vera's plan for letting us know that it's go time? Do we need to like stamp something?
That's one of the things on the list is to kind of figure that out. Other things are she's gonna basically set up a meeting with nearby Vremans, hopefully to get their assistance, and finally to find the relics for the Death Watch so that they will lend some sort of assistance to you guys. Do you have anything specific to add kind of to the list?
I mean, I have the spell sending. Is there any way that we can like enchant something with that spell?
That'll fall under kind of figuring out how to achieve this communication. Anything else you want to add to the agenda of things that need to be accomplished before the end of the... Cool. Vera, you have definitely heard sounds of things approaching the building, and with would you roll a 19 on the perception? Yeah. There is attempted quiet communication in a harsh, guttural language that sends chills down your spine.
Okay, are these ghouls? Like, have I heard this before?
You've been around a bunch. Give me an intelligence check. I'll give you advantage.
Straight intelligence. Oh, okay. 19 again.
19.
It's my number for the night.
Yeah, you're fairly certain this is ghoul.
All right. I immediately sound the alarm, get all the crew together, and like tell them it's ghouls, and that we need to defend our little commune here.
Okay.
So I will set up at a window. Can I see them, or do I know from hearing exactly where they are?
As you set out the alarm, people start waking up. Several of your rescuees kind of wake up yelling and have to be kind of quieted. Everybody kind of gets tucked into the corner. You discover very quickly that this group, they panic, and it is chaos in kind of across the rooms until they can all be kind of settled down and tucked away and assured that like they're safe at the moment.
I love everything just culminating. I don't think I have anything else to add, except maybe like, what kind of resources do we have now? Have we like added anybody into our, little community group at all? Or
no new people other than all of the people that you rescued from the horrible cricket things.
Okay.
You do have a bunch of equipment, some oils, some armor, some potions, and whatnot that we can divvy up in a minute. Let me finish this scene, and we'll come back to this. So Almanya, you've just been woken up as Vera on watch has woken everybody up. All of your rescuees are panicking, and you guys kind of settle them down. But there was a lot of noise that they caused. And so as you guys now kind of wait at windows looking out, anybody who wants to can give me a perception check.
I will. But can I say that...
You can all make one. Like, anybody who wants to can make one.
Can I say that? It seems to me like we would have...
Sorry, with disadvantage, except for Vera, because you can see it in the night.
Oh, God. 28.
28?
But...
10.
10.
It does seem to me, though, like we would have had a system of being, like, just communicating with our team if there's an alarm. Like, I'm not yelling, ghouls are here. I'm, like, quietly waking everybody else up, because we know these people are panicked.
Sure. You said raise the alarm.
Yes, but we would have a system where it's not, like, yelling, because the whole point is to keep quiet in this building.
Okay. Fair. So, give me a stealth check then.
12.
12? Yeah, several of them definitely wake up. There's lots of noise. You settle them down, and then peering out, Vera, with a 28 perception check, you see 7 very definitely ghouls in kind of shape running away from your building, and 2 of them are clutching some kind of bundle under an arm, and as they're running, you can see a couple of others reaching out for it and trying to take it from them. There's a scuffle, and they kind of run off into the darkness.
So the ghouls have all left.
7 of them have.
And with the 28, did I see what the bundle was, size-wise? Any other signs?
With a 28, yeah, it was definitely a severed head.
Ooh, delightful. Wait, why were they with us? I don't get it. I mean, we didn't have anything resembling a severed head.
No.
So they weren't coming into our building. They were just in the street.
You did not see them arrive. You kind of heard, you heard them approaching, notified people, and then went up in time to see them running away.
So they were never, like, I didn't hear them in the building.
No, you did not hear them enter the building.
Okay. But did any of them appear to be the intelligent, bigger ghouls, or were these all the more drone ghouls?
You didn't really see any equipment.
With a 28 perception?
Yeah, you did not see them. They weren't carrying weapons. They weren't wearing armor.
Okay. So it was more that they were probably the regular kind.
Yeah, right. You asked if these were the more intelligent type. You cannot see intelligence, so I'm right.
Yeah, I didn't see the insignia that I'm used to seeing.
From what
ones.
you've seen, yeah, the ones wearing armor and weapons are capable of holding a conversation, planning.
Yeah.
These ones were just naked.
Cool. Well, then I will set up shop by the window with my crossbow out and tell everybody else to get everybody else back to sleep.
Okay. You finish out your watch, and you do not see or hear anything else. Durina will take third watch. Almanya, you're welcome to join her if you want, or...
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
So, can you... Cocked. Okay. Your watch goes without issue. You stay up for a couple hours. Durina, pretty focused, keeping an eye out. You guys have heard a couple of strange things in the night, so she is definitely on full alert, not terribly talkative. And as the sun rises the next day, you guys kind of looking out, see down near the base of the building, kind of right at the doorway, are well, I guess at this point, is a severed head.
Do we recognize who it is?
Are you going to go down and look at it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go investigate.
Yeah, so you guys head down. It looks like it is set up very deliberately, and you can see, kind of taking a look at the dirt. Anybody who wants to can make a survival check.
I'll try.
Okay.
Not me.
Do you need another d20?
9.
9?
Survival. 13.
13.
Oh, great.
Uh, 11.
And 11. Okay. Lots of footprints down here. You can see booted footprints as well as clawed humanoid footprints, presumably the ghouls. There were other heads laid out here that are no longer here. There's just one remaining. And Vera, can you roll a d3? Just roll a d4, re-roll a 4.
Okay, hang on. Sorry, gotta find my bag here. Da, 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 da. Ah. Why are there no D4s in my bag? Okay. 3.
3. You do recognize it. It is the head of the guardsman that you and Durina told to gather everybody left in the lower city and head to the slacks.
Great. Well, someone sent us this message. So were the ghouls here to steal the heads? Because they're hungry. I assume.
Yeah, what does the wound of the severed head look like? Does it look like a clean cut, or was it like ripped
It's a
off?
clean cut.
Can I look inside of his mouth? People leave messages in weird places.
That is fully fair. There is nothing in his mouth.
How was
Nothing
he
unusual.
decapitated? Was it like, does it look like it was like his head was torn off, or like an axe was used or something?
It was a clean cut.
This is Sam Vlahane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can I make an insight check to that? Because that's
Well, this is
just
a
Grace's
guardsman.
assumption, but...
Borderland humor is very dark. You're doing great. Grace, what was the question?
My question is, can I roll insight on this? Because it's just Grace, the player, assuming it's Sam Vlahane, but Vera might have other thoughts. Having left fish, having left a little mafia fish message to people in the past.
Sure, I'll let you roll not investigation. Give me a raw intelligence check. Yeah, it's
Say
not,
that
it's
again.
not really raw intelligence check. It's not really.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you
It's
insight
reading a message.
severed head.
It's reading a message.
I will give you a raw intelligence check.
Only a 9.
Only a 9.
That's a 9.
It's certainly a message. You are not sure. You're sure.
It's a bad message.
The message is pretty clear.
Yes.
Whether or not it's Sam Velhane, you can't really think of anybody else that it would be. But what what is very clear is that Sam Velhane knows where you guys are.
Yes.
Road trip.
Where are we on the cobalt situation?
You guys have made a deal where in 2 days, on the 3rd of Resistance, you guys are going to attack the council district and then basically create an opening for the kobolds to get in and steal food.
Oh, we should relay that to them before they just like sneak into a place that we haven't riled up.
Well, actually, my thought too is to let them in on the whole infiltration through the pylon plan. Like, just come in with us.
Can it be the whole party and like
What
7
is this?
swarms of
You
kobolds
didn't see
attacking
it
a
in the game,
vampire?
like, everybody just shows up.
I just love this idea of like, we just open a portal and everybody we ever knew, it just streams into the council district.
It's very Avengers
I
Endgame,
was
you
about
know,
to say, this is Endgame.
opening up all the
We're doing an
portals.
Endgame.
Everyone's there. Yeah, this is our Endgame moment.
Except that you have one portal. So what I'm imagining is like...
Everybody's in a line.
What I'm imagining is this line of kobolds that stretches all the way through these tunnels, like up into the third watchtower, and it's just like, and go, hut, 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 as each one of them just like steps forward and touches the stone.
I want it so badly, Josh. I want it so bad.
Fantastic.
So yes, do we have to roleplay all the like sending messages to everybody?
It depends on how long and detailed the message is.
Right. Because yeah, I would alert the kobolds to the newish plan and ask them if they want to be in on this.
Gotcha. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. What you do? Can like someone back me up, or because we can write this letter together.
I'll help you.
Cool. You might
yeah.
want to do it, and I help you.
Yeah, just describe the tone of the message.
The tone is very flattering to the Bright Lord, Flame Lord.
Right Lord Firehands.
Bright Lord Firehands. It is extremely flattering, and it is giving an opportunity to join our venture here, where he'll be in on the ground floor of the best loot almost immediately.
That's
but
true.
also just to let him know that there won't be like a frontal assault on the council district, but there is still going to be this opening for him.
Okay.
Yes, it's just to let him know that the plans have changed, but in a coaxing, flattering way, not in a bullying way.
Okay.
Yes.
It would make sense if we just said something like, opening in-house, free pointy teeth.
Anything else, or are you just sending the message?
I was just gonna send a message, but
Send the message, yeah. We want to get all the word out as fast as possible.
Give me a straight persuasion check.
Okay. Yeah, Elmania, do you want to do that? Because you're better at it? I can back you up.
oh hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Help you write the note.
Elmania doing the writing. Okay.
With advantage now.
Nope. Straight roll.
Straight roll for her. Okay. Yeah, you do it,
19?
not me.
19. Okay.
That's the way you do it. Bard.
Okay. So you send off a message. How are you attempting to get it to them?
See, this was my question: is how much roleplay do we have to do for everything?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying you have to roleplay it. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys are not gonna go, how are you sending this message?
Well, the question is how much, like, if we can use sending on this, or do we want to burn those spells because we have to go after the relics today anyway?
Damia has sending.
Yes. I kind of, I might want to send a person actually to do this because I don't really trust Bird Bones to communicate through sending in the best way. Can we send Karina because she's sneaky but is she back? I need to know if she's back from Benji. First.
Yeah, no, she comes back from Benji's. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely rolled an encounter, but then she rolled super good on stealth, so
Okay, good.
she arrives unscathed.
She's our courier.
Benji says, we'll put out the word. I'm sorry, this isn't ascending. I can use full sentences. Benji will put out the word. He just needs a time and a place to meet you guys.
Okay, at the third watchtower. You mean?
You're telling him to travel to send people out to the third watchtower?
Well, I thought that's the thing is, like, are you in on the strike team? And if it's sent on the strike team, yeah, right? Is that the only way to open the
No,
portal?
we'll take the pylon back to the portal room, and then all of us will hang out there, and then we will touch the thing, and then we'll all go back.
Okay.
We're not gonna walk.
Sorry, I never understood.
No.
Yeah, I like never understood how the portals work, to be perfectly honest. So great. In other words, wherever that spot was, that central hub was in the geode place, is where people will be hanging out.
No.
I'm so confused.
There is an intact teleportation circle in a chamber underneath the third watchtower.
Yes, that's what I knew.
In that circle are 5 pedestals.
Yes.
If you stand in that circle and touch a pedestal, you go to somewhere else. There are 5 locations that you can go to depending on which stone you touch. If you are standing in that circle and you touch one, if you touch stone number 1, you always go to the place that stone number 1 sends you. If you touch stone number 2, always to the place that stone number 2 touches you. One of those places is the geode. Another one is a cave right next to a waterfall underground. You guys have been to several of those places.
We've been to all of them.
You have not been. You've not been to all of them. You've been.
I made notes.
You've been
on
to
all
4
of
of
them.
If you then go to each of those places has at least one of those pedestals that is clearly broken off. It is no longer attached to anything. There is no intact circle. When you touch one of those, you roll to see where you end up. And you could end up back in that original chamber, or you could end up somewhere else. You don't know. So touching Almania's pedestal could send you to one of 5 places.
Okay, so the plan is...
If anybody standing in the circle who touches a certain stone will show up at Almania's pedestal.
Okay, so the plan is to take the strike team, and Benji's offering some men to do this. They all touch the pylon that we have, and eventually like work their way to the central hub, so that when I say go, they will definitely follow the pylon to Sam Vilhane's chamber. That's
right.
The plan.
I mean, that would get everybody there, at least eventually.
Yes.
What was the next part of that thought? Right, so yeah, you could get a group together and walk out to the third watchtower. It would be
or just cycle through.
It would be a half day's journey, and you would get attacked by stuff.
Yes.
And then you would have to basically get into the third watchtower.
Yes.
Or
do it this way.
Or you ping pong around among all of the spots, and whenever somebody ends up in the intact chamber, they just go wait in the next room for everybody else to arrive.
Okay. So Benji's offering men to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that I say, so I would send Karina, say, thank you for being our courier, Karina, and send her to Birdons with our message.
Okay. So are you also giving her the message to take to Benji for like time and place?
Yes. So let's set up that time. Yes, agreed. So my thought is, so we've got all of today to get the relics, to get the Death Watch on our side. And then I suggest that over that night, we get everybody organized, and so we have all night to get into the hub, transportation hub. So that at dawn, I go in, and everybody's already ready. We've had all night to ping pong shenanigans. And at dawn tomorrow, we're set to go.
So you're saying tonight? Get everybody together tonight,
yes.
Okay?
Or like, midnight, so early morning of tomorrow.
Okay. And where?
Well, can we meet them, or, because I do have to take the pylon. Because I want to do this in a safe spot, so, like right outside of the compound, if I'm allowed to be there.
Okay. So
Because now we know Sam Volhain knows this spot, so I certainly don't want it to be here.
okay.
But presumably he already knows where the compound is.
Okay, so you're giving Karina messages for the Bright Lord and for Benji. Benji, you're telling gather everybody tonight at the compound.
Yes. And then hopefully, Almania, if you're willing to, or I think Damia also has ascending, then I'd like to talk to Theodosia and maybe add some Freemans to that crew.
Okay. So Vera and Almania, you guys are dispatching messages. Constantine, is there anything you want to... What are you doing during this time?
I don't think there's much for me to be doing.
Okay. Standing around, sharpening your sword. Again.
Getting ready to
Today,
spray the oil on it.
Today we're gonna kill things. Today we're gonna kill things.
Just taking my knife,
Okay.
throwing it into the head, pulling it out, throwing it back into
Okay. Constantine is very clearly bored and is making it clear to you guys that he's bored, without seeming like he's making it clear to you.
I'm not bored. I'm not bored.
It's okay,
I'm gonna
everybody.
need him to roll a deception check to see if he can really do that.
Constantine, he's not actually hiding it though. I mean, would he attempt to hide it?
The fact that we're just sitting here babbling while everyone's trying to figure out, run around like chickens with their heads cut off, and we're about to go kill a vampire with basically a line of troops that are gonna be like, ticket.
This is gonna be so like, what's a touch card?
Come and touch the top.
Okay.
Also, we should move, because Sam Volhain knows where our commune is.
Well, we got the wagon, so we should saddle up and go somewhere.
Yeah, Constantine's gonna help organize, like, let's do a little refugee move and find a different tenement.
Okay. Making sure everybody's like tied to everybody. Hold on to the rope, right? Everybody. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on to the rope.
Time and place
Don't
for Benji.
let go.
Little
Okay.
kids.
Karina. Okay.
She can cast
Okay.
Pass Without a Trace on herself, and she should.
I don't know if she has Pass Without a Trace, but she does have the double, the Blessings of the Trickster.
She should bless herself.
So
yeah.
she is. Yeah. No, I've been rolling her. I've been rolling her stealth with advantage. All right.
Cool.
So she is running around delivering messages to Benji and the Bright Lord. Okay.
Awesome.
So. All right. Karina is on her thing. Okay. So you want to do ascending to Theodosia.
Yes.
Okay. What are you telling her? 'Cause the last thing you heard from her was that Claris needs a time and a place.
Alrighty. Then actually, I will give her the, what time is it now? And it's still early morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I will give her, like, just to leave enough sunlight, like, in a few hours here at this tenement address. After everybody else has moved, the commune has moved, and I'm just gonna stay here and meet whoever the guy is.
Did we find out if Theodosia's still in town?
I have no idea where she is, because she actually can't say because of the under oath. Yeah. So I figured if they can reach me here, I'd rather not go to them. So,
Smart.
yeah.
Okay.
So I give this tenement
All right.
at 10 a.m.
All right. So 2 hours is what you're saying.
Yeah, in
Okay.
a few hours, be here, and I'll stay here and wait. I'll tell her if you can't make it that fast, I'll stay here and wait until you're here.
Okay.
To a
All right.
certain point.
Are you adding anything else, or is it just? It's going to take
I'll
up most
tell-
of your words to kind of pinpoint where this
Point
building is.
all this.
But
Yes, I'll just tell her to. I'll tell her that I love her and to mind her language, because of the last thing she said,
Yes.
Okay.
so she knows it's me.
Response comes back. Will do. Contact is. Okay, Onishere. Where are we? Okay. Contact is Decker.
Decker.
Decker. That's not a very German name. I suppose it is a German name.
Decker.
Decker. Yes.
Oh, and actually a name that you recognize.
Yes?
Corsica.
Oh, I feel like that is familiar, but I don't remember from where.
She was one of the legionaries that came with you from Mindanafil. So she was on the boat. You did not meet Decker, but they're part of the same squad.
Okay. So can we actually, just as a side point, since we're moving all the civilians out of here, is actually try and move them nearer to that well? If that's a safer area.
Oh, the open one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that the next order of business? Is now getting everybody moved?
I'll stay here until you guys go find a spot near the well and fortify up again for the commune.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll have told Karina where we're gonna be.
Vera, you are you wait there. Almania and Constantine, you guys have everybody together. You've got all of your remaining supplies in the wagon. You've got all of your people either holding on to kind of the edge of it, walking alongside, or holding onto ropes behind it. Althalos and who's the other person there? Althalos is walking up and down, encouraging them. Along with Isolde. And they're walking up and down, encouraging everybody, making sure they're all staying together. As you guys kind of move very large and obvious in the streets, into this area near to this uncovered well. It's morning. There are people drawing water from the well. There are a couple of groups walking around. No guard or watch uniforms in sight, but definitely groups of people with cobbled together armor and weapons, keeping an eye on things. And so there's kind of this open courtyard with towering buildings on each side, and you guys are kind of looking out of a side street into this area. It looks fairly well populated.
Was that another pun? Well populated?
Oh, God damn it. Yes, it is populated by a single well, right in the middle, and it is well populated by people. Ha 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 ha. Totally intentional.
These are some deep jokes.
How are you guys approaching this?
Not there.
I'm just gonna kind of walk up and kind of push people aside and start drawing water for the rest of the group.
Okay. Are you bringing them into the square?
Well, how many buckets do we have?
You guys have no buckets. You have barrels and crates that your food was in, but no buckets. There's just a bucket tied to the end of the rope at the well that everybody's using the same bucket. Just walk up, shove everybody aside, and start drawing water?
I think I'm gonna start drawing water, but I'll just bring a crate with me too, or barrels.
Okay.
Maybe I can smooth it over, but...
Okay. Almania, how are you smoothing it over as Constantine just pulls the tarp back on the wagon, dumps out one of the barrels of supplies, walks into the middle of the square, and you can see there's a line of people waiting to draw water, and he just kind of walks past everybody in the line, boom, sets the barrel down, pushes the person out of the way. They lose control of the rope. The rope kind of, as the bucket splashes down into the water below, and Constantine just kind of starts pulling, or I guess it's a crank, just turning the crank to pull the water back up.
I'm like,
Giant
dude!
man, full plate mail, shoving everybody aside. How are you smoothing this over?
I'm gonna step about 10 feet away from the group, and I'm going to play a little. I'm gonna play my jingle, my now infamous jingle about throwing down the authority, essentially.
Okay.
Because that's the best that I've got.
Sure. Give me. Are you attempting to tie this to Constantine in any way, or are you just?
No,
I'm also here trying.
Them.
Okay, go ahead and roll a.
I just want to like get people like, hey, we know that song, and then they're all like kind of clapping and joining in. And...
Okay, sure. Roll a performance check.
Okay. Where's my PDF? There it is. Okay. Performance is 6, 7, 23.
23. Okay. The people that got shoved out of the way, kind of look at Constantine, just fear in their eyes, step away, only to kind of turn and see you as you are just like, ding, and you play your Sam Valheim jingle, just the most virulent earbug in the world, and fairly quickly they are all distracted and enjoying the spectacle in front of them. As Constantine, you just bucket, barrel, just filling your barrel with water. Prepositions.
Mary, please tell me it looks like that GIF from Road to El Dorado.
Yes, I am the gal from Road to El Dorado, holding up the loot.
Except that instead of a man with shoulder-length blonde hair, perfectly trimmed,
kind of the Brana,
and a bright red shirt, you are a heavily bundled, cowled, face-hidden bird person with feathers coming out of your sleeves, strumming the strings.
But people are having such a good time; they don't care.
They are having a good time, and nobody has noticed your hands yet. Or if they do, they assume it's part of the act. You guys managed to get plenty of water before. You kind of hear people from nearby buildings yelling out to the people who were standing in line, right? Where's the water? Hey!
I yell back, wait your turn!
And at that point, one of the kind of groups of armed people kind of walks by, sees this exchange, sees what's going on. A couple of them seem fairly interested. But the leader kind of walks up to you, grabs your shoulder, and kind of pulls you away from the well. I don't recognize your face, orc. What are you doing here?
What does it look
I'm sorry,
like
we're in a crappy part of town. I don't recognize your face there, orc.
Do you want to get a closer look?
Well, if I do. And he kind of steps. He's definitely shorter than you, but he steps up, like face right underneath yours.
Put the barrel down next to him.
Okay.
And I step up and I just kind of like, really intimidatingly.
Sure.
Don't say anything, but I just frown.
Give me an intimidation check. You can use your strength modifier instead of charisma.
23.
23. Okay. You kind of loom over him. He looks up at you. Yeah, right, just checking. You're not here to cause any trouble, are you?
Unless you're giving it to me.
I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to solve it. Taps the club at his waist.
I grab his shoulder. You're doing a great job. And I grab the barrel and I walk off.
Okay. All right. So you guys have kind of smoothed over suspicion. Where are you going to? How are you going to now situate all of your people?
Right in the middle where the well is.
just sitting them out in the open. It's great. Nighttime is going to be fantastic. This area seems fairly. All of the buildings here appear occupied.
can just expand the radius and take
You are
whatever empty
not
building
here.
is. I know.
As he
I'm
kind of
gonna-
like walks away, can I like can I slow my strumming down and
I was
Get
gonna
back.
go back to him after I give the water to the wagon
Okay.
and go talk to the man that I intimidated.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ask them if they have any areas where we could set up, because we're kind of traveling through.
Okay. Elmanya, are you joining him here? You said you were kind of slowing down the act.
yeah, I'm gonna just slow down my jingle and play kind of a a nice peaceful acoustic plucking kind of thing in the background,
Okay.
just nice background music
All right.
for this conversation.
Rooms are all full, but we can make space if you've got something to offer. You got food?
We do have a little extra food.
How much?
How much do we have?
You've got enough for 40 people to eat okay for several days, or heavily rationed a couple weeks.
Almanya, how much food should we give them?
Looking at this man, what do I notice about him?
You're gonna need to be more specific.
Is he like hauntingly skinny? Or does he just kind of look
gotcha.
vaguely underfed like everyone,
No, he looks a little gaunt, but I mean, from what you can just tell at a quick glance, appears to be eating fairly well.
Alright. I mean, we could probably spare like, I don't know, a day's rations. You could parse that out. It'd be quite a couple days if you eat it leanly.
I'm sorry, are you offering me 2 days' rations? So that you and all of your several dozen people can stay and draw attention and contribute nothing?
I mean, I guess he doesn't want food that badly, but jeez.
How about you give us everything in your wagon, and we'll include all of your... Fuck is wrong with all your people?
Don't ask.
Roll a persuasion check. Or intimidation. Beth, you tell me how you said that. Don't ask.
17.
17. I'm gonna ask. Are they all missing their eyes?
And you want to take away food from blind people. Shame on you.
Now hold on a minute. What kind of sick freaks are you all?
The people who are taking care of the blind people
There
who
is
you want
no-
to take food from. God.
So you're not the ones who...
Why would I
Ew, no.
bring them here and then get water for them?
Look, I'm not here to judge your fetishes.
I think you are.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I wish there was a roll between intimidation and persuasion that was like fast talk. Like... No, now, look, I'm not...
Hold well.
If you're here and you're putting people's eyes out, right, that's a problem. If you fanned them that way, that's fine. I just want everything in the wagon and we'll feed your folks.
These people, they need help. I don't know if we can part with everything. How about we give you half for just the night, and if it goes all right, maybe we'll give more and contribute more.
Right, you give us half of what's in the wagon, and they subsist on whatever's left, and we'll give them some space.
Some space. Take the water.
And you walk patrol with us.
Fine.
Right? Sounds good.
Constantine's making friends. I'm so proud of him.
Sure. So you guys get set up. Your 40 or so people get scattered across 3 or 4. We'll call it 4 different buildings, kind of in this square. You get introduced to all of the different patrols. You know them all. Your right passwords are shared, and you are expected to walk a shift every night. If you don't show up, they're taking the rest of the food, and your people are on the street.
How dare they throw out blind people? I'm so disappointed in them. Deeply disappointed.
Okay, let's jump back to Vera. Vera, in a couple hours,
I'm just sitting there knitting.
Sitting like what on the roof, like in a room in the doorway of the front.
No, I'm imagining this. I'm in like the top floor with my foot, resting on my crossbow, knitting, like leaning against the window with so I can in a second do the crossbow.
This is the most delightful and threatening thing, just at the same time. First glance, there's an old lady knitting in a window. Is that a crossbow?
That's exactly Vera's character right there, though.
Vera, you hear a whistle that is reminiscent of kind of the whistles that you've heard in combat when the Legion, the front line kind of ducks back and the next line steps up to give them a rest. Just very faintly. And you look down.
Whistle back.
You look down in the street. Okay. Just whistle back. Okay. And a few minutes later, there are 2 figures just standing in the doorway of the room. And oh shit, I haven't done
a Freeman accent
in a while.
Can I do a legionary greeting? Because I recognize Corsica, and I'll give her the Freeman salute.
Oh dear. Okay. You flash a couple signals that you recognize from your time with the Legions, and both of them kind of take these heavy cowls off their face. Good. And you see Corsica and Decker. Corsica, where are we? This is not working. I just need to print the whole freaking thing out. Corsica and Decker, both humans. The hair is growing out a little bit, but it's only been about a week, so they've still got very, very military haircuts, just a little bit longer and shaggier than Reg. And Corsica, who you actually know, kind of steps forward. Vera, how was your time in the city been?
A walk in the park, darling.
Yeah, for us as well. It's just green acres. As far as the eye can see, nothing like the wilderness at all. Like being back in the Empire.
Roses.
Sunshine and
roses.
roses. So, the Optio says you want to deal further.
I do.
That's surprising. Things must be really bad for you to make more deals. I understand
nonsense.
No personal offense taken, but I know that you don't like dealing with us very much.
Well, sunshine and roses, darling, but, you've seen what you've seen, and I've seen what I've seen. So, are you, completely, gifted with the powers to deal openly? I'll certainly do my best.
To some extent, obviously, there's, quite a bit of information I must withhold, but,
Yes. You'll understand likewise, then.
Indeed, I understand there's a strike in the making, and you are looking for assistance. That is most of my knowledge. What are you looking for? What's the plan?
Well, we have, and I'll just outline to her roughly, like, we have a magical way to get into Sam Valhane. I will also share with her, and can I watch her and, like, do an insight check and say, like, we do believe Sam Valhane to be a very powerful vampire. And taking him out will cripple some of the ghoul powers here.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
My character sheet, 17.
17? Yeah. As you mentioned that he is a vampire, there's almost a light that comes into both of their eyes.
Like, it makes sense.
Yeah. And Decker, who's been standing in the back, looking through kind of stuff in a satchel that he's carrying with him, kind of looks up straight at you. Corsica, they make eye contact. Corsica looks back at you. Yeah, keep going.
Apparently not too much of a surprise, or at least perhaps corroborates your data, it might seem. But that's the best determination we've been able to make. So if you know anything of vampires, you know that he is the leader of this ghoulish army, and if he is removed, then they'll become easier to deal with. So the strike that we propose is to cut off the head of the snake, as best we can. Of course, you'll understand, a very powerful vampire, this is not a job for the faint-hearted or for the one, which is where you and your friends would come in.
So you intend to kill him and get rid of the ghouls? Just takes the city back?
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. That's the end game.
And you have an army with to do this?
We have, yes, the army of the true Onishere. You might have heard of it.
No, I haven't.
I hum a few bars of the song.
You hum a few bars of the song. Yeah, I don't know what.
Oh, so they have not been in the city for very long. They have not been hanging out with people. Okay. We have some resources, yes. But frankly, things as they are unmanageable. And but some leaderless schools, they at least are possible.
Yeah, but I mean, even the ghouls are fairly vicious. How many people do you have?
I know I don't have oaths like you, but I have oaths of my own, and I'm afraid I cannot tell you that.
Without tactical information like that, I'm afraid neither the Optio nor I can authorize Legion assistance.
Do I even know how many people we have?
I mean,
I need to know how many kobolds we have.
you have no idea how many kobolds you have. You have you, Almania, Constantine. You've got Karina, Damia. You've got some of your NPC friends.
Yeah, I know that number. I'm talking more out of the auxiliaries.
You've got a dozen plus kobolds. Plus whoever Angmar manages to bring to the Slacks. Although, I guess you don't know if they're going on this actual attack.
Yes. Yeah. Is that what she's asking, though? Is she asking about who's going on the strike team, or is she asking who do we have all together?
No, she's asking, you guys are intending to kill Sam Valhane and take your city back. With what army?
Yes. Because, yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is she asking, because I don't know how many people Benji has overall, or do I?
Go ahead
Fighting men.
Well, I mean, you were the head of the organization until 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You had probably 100 people, as core leadership within the family. Those 100 people worked with maybe 1,000 others. That includes, footpads, thieves, assassins, minor gangs that, you didn't trust them to be kind of part of the family, but also they didn't do anything without y'all's say-so and instruction, and you used them for minor things, and whatnot. But as of when you left the family, you could probably have called on maybe 50 to 60 people to go, hey, we need to defend ourselves. We are fighting a battle here.
Okay. So I will tell them too, because they probably I will ask the question, like, when I say, as you've probably seen, there are neighborhood watches in nearly every neighborhood in the city, who are not under our direct control, but if they're attacked by more manageable ghouls, we'll at least be able to make more of a dent in it. But I will tell her, like, under direct command, I'll tell her the exact number of our little party, and I'll tell her I think we could call on maybe 50 more elite people. But otherwise, it's going to be grassroots.
So you have a couple handfuls and maybe, half a century more, and then you're relying on the strength and resilience of the general populace.
Yes.
That's an awful plan.
Well, if you want out, then you're out. I do not think the Optiol will authorize that. Well, the thing is that I would have no idea what he's authorizing.
Well, the addition of our forces to yours.
For the strike force or for the long game? Because frankly, actually, all I'm asking for is, if you're interested, is being in on the strike force.
Ah, indeed. So, if we add some of our number to yours, what do you and your son offer to us?
I'm afraid I can speak nothing for my son, only for myself.
And what authority do you have within the city?
Well, the people I mentioned to you, the number I mentioned, and this is just our group.
Yeah.
Which you've met several of them. I have no position of official authority in this city whatsoever. I only have personal pull with those. And I'm afraid that I can commit myself to something, and I can certainly request them to commit themselves. But, frankly, we also have the means to enter the council district, which I don't know if you have something similar. So that's certainly a bargaining point.
And what are your plans for the city, supposing that you succeed?
That's actually an interesting question. Because...
Have you described kind of the whole tactical situation? And just kind of what's going on in the council district, what you know from some of the other neighborhoods that seem to be in line with Sam Velhane and are quite fond of him?
Yeah, I'll explain the enemy's tactical situation.
Okay.
Yes. As much as we know about their tactical situation. I'm going to be cagier about ours.
Okay. And have you described kind of this movement and right, the nobility is the enemy?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, frankly, I've never liked them much myself.
So, what you're saying is that if you should succeed, the days of your council district are somewhat numbered.
And there will be a power vacuum that you and your masters can certainly take advantage of.
Indeed. I would require not simply a vacuum, but the support of you and all of the rest of your friends in securing that vacuum.
securing the vacuum itself or your ascension into it? Because there's a slight difference.
There's not a difference. When the nobility are removed, either by yourselves or the raging mobs, and order needs to be restored, you will do everything within your power to ensure that we are at the top of it.
That's not the first thing that you said. Ensuring the vacuum and ensuring who fills it are not quite the same thing.
Then
I would be
I
willing
apologize
to
for the
ensure the
confusion.
vacuum.
You
Yes.
will do everything within your power to place us at the head of things and smooth things over with your people. You will.
I'm afraid.
You will paint us as restorers of order and life and getting back to normal and eating well and generally enjoying the benefits of being part of the Empire.
I'm afraid that all I can offer you is to leave the place open. I'm afraid you'll have to make that argument for yourselves. And if it is a good and a true argument, and the Empire is good and true, as I know you know it to be, then what help do you need of mine?
Well, assuming that you succeed, you will be quite in the public eye, yes? You will be heroes. That will carry quite a sway with, your uneducated populace.
To be perfectly honest, at least speaking for myself, I have no intention of coming out of this with anyone knowing my name at all.
Yet you will retain influence with those others of your group who may not be so anonymous.
Cannot speak for them. I speak only for myself.
Yes, well, none of this is very promising, and you are being very cagey and refusing to give anything in return. So I do not know what argument I am to make to my senior officer for committing men and lives to your cause if success is so dubious and you refuse to commit to anything afterwards.
Well, frankly, you must tell me, what are your actual goals here?
That I am not authorized to speak on. Besides, we are here to save the people of Onishere from starvation and degradation.
But you must understand, if I don't know what you want specifically, I know you've told me exactly your side, exactly what you want of me, which I'm not willing to give, but we must come to a compromise. I need to know what you want so that I can offer you something in exchange that I am willing to give you to support your goals.
For you and your friends to exert all influence and powers that you have to make sure that at the end of this, once your nobility have been disposed of, that we occupy the ruling seat.
Yes. That is the very, very end goal, but clearly there are steps to that. Steps being, you want Sambalhain dead. You want the nobility dead, correct?
Sambalhain certainly. What happens to the nobility is of little consequence, so long as they no longer exercise authority within the city.
So we have an absolute common goal here, is the removal of Sambalhain, correct?
Indeed.
That is what I can offer you. A means to that end.
Without further, at least declarations and promises of intent, I can offer you little.
Well, I'm afraid I cannot declare that I will leave this city in Vreeman hands. That you'll have to do for yourselves. But I guess I must ask, are you any closer on your own to defeating Sambalhain? Can I watch for her reaction to that?
I mean, you watch the typical reaction of a Freeman who's asked a question that they want to answer, and you watch them as they run through their oaths, going, okay, blah, blah, blah.
I'm basically asking, like, have you got a better plan, or are you spinning your wheels?
Taking the city was not my file's mission. What you are offering is an opportunity that goes beyond my mission. But with or without you, I can accomplish my mission. So when you offer more at the risk of failing my mission with no guarantees and no likelihood of success, I cannot help.
So that's an interesting question then. If you were to come to me and you just wished to complete your mission, which I will not ask what it is, what would you ask of me then? Since that mission does not include killing Samvalheim.
I have... you see, I cannot answer the question without betraying my mission. I don't know if that would break the oath, but I will not test it.
I see. But do you think that if you were able to tell me that we could be of assistance to your actual mission?
Perhaps.
I see. And is there a way that I could speak to your commander, someone who would be willing to be more open? If I perhaps put myself under oath that I will also not reveal that mission. This is only to help you. I want to figure out how we can help you in a way that
give me a persuasion check.
All right. 18.
18?
Yeah.
I cannot bind you with an oath strong enough to resist should you fall into Samvalheim's hands and be interrogated. So, if you cannot guarantee or even promise support in the post-game, then this is all we have to talk about and we will be on our way.
Well, I'm afraid I cannot, because I do not speak for those who would be affected by it. If you can understand that.
Understood. To be clear, I'm asking for you to make all of your efforts and to secure the promises of your allies to make all of their efforts to support Freeman authority within the city. I need only a promise that you will do everything within your power. You will not have broken an oath if you struggle mightily to bring the city to our side and fail. I simply ask that you exert all influence and all abilities within your power to assist.
So what I really want to do is be able to ask Benji what he would want me to do.
If you need to consult with your allies first, you can simply send a message with whatever message you have been contacting your granddaughter. And there's no need for us to meet again. As your granddaughter mentioned, we will bind her with an oath to ensure your good faith.
I can only speak for myself, so I would need to speak to others.
Indeed, going back with something would be better than... Well, sorry, Miss Mayweather. We hope things go well for you. I hope not to find your body on a pike. See you later.
Here, the question that I would make is that I, personally, Vera Mayweather, would promise to do what is in my power. The problem is that what is in my power is influence over others, if that makes sense.
Yes, and all I'm asking you to do is exercise that influence to the greatest degree that you are capable.
Let me consult with others.
Indeed.
And I will contact my granddaughter again with our answer.
All right. We are looking forward to hearing from you.
Here's the question, though.
Yes?
If we secure what you wish, the promise to support your claims after the conflict, what would you be willing to offer us, just to make it clear to my allies what bargain they would be making?
Several fighters and spellcasters to your strike team. And more to assist in securing the city once the ghouls are running rampant. You understand?
How many?
You understand I cannot disclose to you either the location or the number of them.
The number is difficult, and it's the same difficulty that that you had with me not being able to give you numbers. I'm sure you'll understand. I'm going to have to persuade others.
I can give you
with your deal.
I can give you myself, 2 Terravancers, and another Converter to your strike team. As well as all of those who journeyed here with you from Indonesil to assist in any street fightings that should occur.
Oh dang, is that 2 legions? I'm not saying this in character. Is
No,
that 2 legions?
That's 2 files. It's about 16 people.
Oh.
Which
yeah.
doubles your
the
number.
group that jumped us off.
Which doubles your number. Yeah, the ones who came with you from Mindonathil.
The ones who were in the boat with us.
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah,
okay, that makes more sense.
right. So you guys came here with the 3rd and 4th files of the something cohort from the 8th Legion.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I will take those numbers then to Benji in particular and
Okay.
everybody else.
Okay. So party regathers. You've got your people situated. You've got information that you need to get. So we've done the sending. Constantine, you got any names?
The names for what?
For the strike team?
Oh.
Or are we ready to just go after the relics?
I had a list of them. We could call ourselves the Vampinocitors.
Oh yeah.
Stake Team 666. The Famed Defangers. Sanguine Assassins. Vamp Team 6 Feet Under. That's all I could come up with right now. Sorry.
I like Vamp Team 6 personally.
Vamp Team 666. Oh yeah, whatever that was.
Stake Team?
Steak Team 666. The steak.
The Stake
The
Force.
steak team.
Now, I do have to ask because it is relevant given specifically Constantine's recent behavior. Is that steak with an EA or just an A?
Both.
Both
This is a
and-
pun.
Okay. All right.
We're not writing this anywhere. It's either one you hear.
Are you dubbing the party Stake Team? Well, the Strike Force, whatever it ends up being, Stake Team 666.
I love this plan, yes.
I'm so down.
Fantastic.
And our little icon is a dead vampire holding a jar of dirt, and behind it is a cross of a stake and a saw.
So Constantine is really bored at this point. He is sketching in the dirt as like Vera, as you arrive at the party, like sketching in the dirt, saws and stakes, and you've got names there.
I love it.
I'm here for this.
All right. So
Well,
I think
I'd like to
Yeah, go ahead.
tell everybody that and like let's take a vote. Who would be down for committing themselves to assisting a Bremen takeover at the end of this?
I'm surprised when Ma comes and tells us this. I'm looking at her with the like, really, you.
You have to understand, again, this is why I didn't commit us immediately, because I have to be perfectly honest. I will tell you what I'm going to say.
Yes, what are you gonna say?
Make your
Because
decision.
of everybody in this group, I think I expected you to be the least likely person to come back and say, hey, we should join the Vremens.
Yes, and frankly, I will need to talk to my son, but if this were entirely my decision, and I've said it before, I would shake hands with the devil himself to get rid of the devil in the council district. and
I
deal with
agree.
the consequences that come. Because frankly, I
finally made something that my players hate more than the Freeman Empire.
yes, you should be very proud of yourself,
I'm so
Josh.
proud of myself.
You should just be like, pat yourself on the back right there. No, you made something
all
that
it took,
Vera hates
all it took
more.
was killing an eighth of the city and
destroying my entire city. Thank you. So that is essentially how Vera feels. It's just like, well, I saw Vreem, and yeah, it sucked, and and there's.
But it sucks less than everyone's dying.
That is exactly. So I will say, I will say yes to this. I fear that my family would see it as a betrayal, which is my greatest fear at the moment. But the good thing is I can certainly try to persuade them, and I can fail, which hopefully will not break said oath. It's only to the extent that I can to support said takeover. And that is all I can say for myself. I will do it. I will certainly make a face as I say it.
How does Constantine feel about Ravens?
Technically, you're at war.
There's that.
Technically, the Borderlands, by treaty, the Borderlands is at war with the Vreeman Empire. Almost 2 years ago now, Vreem attacked Westisher. A few weeks later, Westisher fell, the Blood Goddess rose. But the moment Vreem attacked Westisher, technically everyone else except for the Northern Alliance and the Hegemony technically was supposed to declare war on the Vreemans and come to Westisher's aid. With the arrival of suddenly a new goddess, and the Inland Sea is impassable, and you left the Borderlands before the Red Goddess rose, so you're not sure what's going on up there. But technically they're at war.
What kind of position have you just... I'm gonna need to think about it.
Totally fair. Believe me, Vera hates Vreem more than you could possibly say, but it's kind of like, if it's Vreem or being a ghoul zombie, I'll go for Vreem.
Right, but how much does Constantine care about the people of Onishere?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Oh, that's for me to
How
decide.
much does Constantine care about? You're literally here because you have nothing better to do. So you let me know if that
Why are we
changes or if that deepens, like whatever. That's where I handed the character to you.
Okay.
From here on.
I just honestly... Okay.
I mean, I'll take Vreem over Sam Velhane.
Jenny, who plays Karina, if you are still watching and you're still communicating with JD and want her to give a message, just curious, would Karina, given that her home city is currently under siege from the Empire,
Oh Lord.
how
Everybody is.
How would she feel about this? Who else? Durina will not give her support. There is too much guard left in her, but she will not stand in the way if the Freemans actually, save the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Damia's like, frankly, my entire religious order appears to now be a legal subsidiary of the Vreeman Empire,
Yeah.
so...
She's down.
Okay.
Like,
no
the way
strong
I see it
feelings.
is like, the democratic thing is like, the Freemans are gonna swoop in and be big damn heroes and be like, look, we're going to set up order and have a food supply. And I think the traumatized people of Onishere at this point are okay with that. So, yeah. If there's like mass civil disobedience against the Freemans, Vera might start having problems, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Thank you, Jenny and JD, for relaying the message.
Ooh,
The
what'd
Red
they
Goddess
say?
is a greater threat. Empires can fall from within.
Yes! Jenny, I love you so much.
Fantastic. I love it.
Good.
Okay.
I like wink at Karina when she
So
says that.
Constantine's on the fence. Elmania?
The entire city is starving. The hegemony is not here anymore. And my family isn't here anymore. So, I may be annoyed with the Empire for a variety of things, but everyone is going to starve without them at this point. Like, I'll take the lesser of two evils and go Empire over Sam Belhane and Vampire and, insta death.
All right. Who else do we have in the party here? Damia, Constantine, Karina. Alphalos doesn't care. Angmar's not here.
Actually, that's a great question. Can Vera go around and ask all these? We have like a weird little cross section of Onisherians here.
Yeah.
Can I just go around and ask? Like the 40 people.
Take
Seriously,
a poll.
I am taking
Take a poll.
straight up Gallup poll here.
Not a bad idea.
Well, you have a merchant.
So we have a span of people. We've got like 4 people. We've got.
You've got a pretty good cross section of society here.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask.
I would say. No, I'm not even gonna roll. I would say the majority of them. A few of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Spit on the ground when you talk about the Vreeman Empire, and are non-committal. The vast majority are like, I'm sorry, right? You're saying food, safety, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Literally anything is better than being eaten and turned into ghouls and etc.
That's what I thought. Okay. I'm committed. But I will also, Well, I'm about to see him tonight, so I'll tell Benji that I will only commit myself personally. So.
Okay.
To that.
Okay. We've got a name. We've got a consensus.
Consensus.
Dear God.
Oh man, the
Okay.
fact that you finally found something Grace personally hates more than Freem is very impressive.
That is
I
really
still don't
impressive.
understand why you guys hate Vreem.
Because they're
High
freaking
walls,
like,
strong
fascists.
military, food, safety,
Fascists.
advancement.
I just get annoyed that I get there and they go, pay us money and you can stay here. And I say, okay. And then they say, yeah, but you can't do all the stuff you want. You got to pay us more money. And I go, but I don't have more money. And they go, oh, sorry. You can't have all the fun, like all the amenities of the city because you don't have money. I'm like, fuck you. I want excuse me. Like, I want to go and do these things. They're like, you can't. You got no money. You ain't rich.
Civil liberties.
Have fun with your freedom to do whatever you will, and in the wilderness and the chaos and the death and the murder and whatnot.
Hey, Amanya, let's go marauding into the wilderness.
If you're just willing to make the basic promise of all human societies, which is to seed some. I'm sorry, I'm not actually role-playing a Vreeman right now, so I'm gonna stop.
Okay, Josh, so when you go back to school and talk to your students, how much of this am I gonna have to talk to the head of school about? So Josh is really into fascism. And
when my students are fascist, I try to turn them into anarchists, and when they're anarchists, I try to turn them into fascists. And we hit a happy medium, somewhere in there. It's great. The conversations are fun.
So this is what's gonna happen. Vreem's gonna try and take over. My son is going to be the anarchist side, and they're eventually just gonna come to some sort of.
He's basically already kicked you out of the city once all of this is over. So.
Yeah, I just don't want the Vreemans to kill him.
You want to overthrow another empire after this and help me take out the hegemony?
Let's do this.
I like that the
I
Empire was
see.
like, all right, the Empire is on our hit list. Okay, bumped down on the. Okay, it's bumped down a little. Okay, once we deal with this and this and this and this, then Empire, then we're coming
Pretty
for
much.
you. Okay,
Oh, then we'll
so
Listen, man, I'm writing a song, and it'll fix all the stuff anyway, and then I won't have to worry about it. If I can get the gods to come back, they can deal with that shit.
So, question: are we going after the relics, or are we saying whatever? We don't.
Well,
we
I'm
don't
doing
need.
relics.
We're doing
What are the
relics.
relics? I wasn't here last week.
We need them to get the support of the Death Watch, who are the vampire slayers. So I'm kind of thinking like I really want vampire slayers.
And we have to get relics
All
for them?
4 of them.
Yes, all 4 of them. But they have expertise.
So
Yeah, what are these relics and where are they?
We last heard of them in that warehouse that we burned down. There was like a guy who went running in and being like, "No, the sacred text," and pulls a Luke Skywalker right at the end as we were like leaving the burning warehouse.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry, that's
Pulled a
all I
Luke
could think of when you
Skywalker?
said that. From Last Jedi, the sacred text. That's all I could think of when you had that.
Oh
scene.
God, no! I
Yes.
thought you were referencing the original trilogy. No.
No,
yeah,
I was
I did it.
shamefully
Okay,
talking about
what-
Lost Recent
so-
Trilogy.
So,
I
okay,
know, I'm sorry.
but what are they? What are we looking for exactly?
Even the lady who was in charge of the Death Watch wasn't quite sure.
But why do they
They're-
want them?
They're like
No, you-
sacred to their founder
You guys,
and have
you guys
special
didn't
powers.
actually ask what the relics were.
They have special power. We did because we were like, "What are they? How are they important
No,
to you?"
you,
and
you
what's
asked
the
what
point?
they do. You didn't ask like what are they?
Surely they would have told us that if they're sending us after them.
Yes, no, they would have. That's what I'm trying to pull up. You just said like they didn't even know, and I'm like, no, they know exactly what
Well,
they
she was,
are.
like, they weren't quite sure like about. They were very unclear about their own history. But anyway, moving on.
Yes, you're looking for 7 teeth on a chain. You're looking for 3 finger bones, kind of attached in a ring. You're looking for a fragment of a skull that has been fashioned into an amulet. You are looking for a dagger made out of bone, and you're looking for a jawbone also fashioned into a neck piece.
You know what? These people have a certain aesthetic that I can respect, but this is going pretty far. Just saying.
I mean, have you read about the relic trade in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
So
Like,
this is totally St. John's shin. Give me money for it.
It's
Boom.
like, how many shins did he have? 18.
I
Okay.
have a lock of St. Peter's hair. It's totally
So-
St. Peter's hair. No.
7 teeth on a chain, 3 finger bones.
You're
that
looking
fashioned into a
for
ring.
teeth, finger bones, a dagger,
So,
and 2 amulets.
Okay, and they're in the city somewhere.
yeah. They're
So-
they were allegedly, some of them were in that warehouse we burned down.
So, and they'd be okay because they're bones, and so we need to go get them for them.
Yeah. Because the lady who's in charge of the Death Watch lost contact with that guy that we saw.
Huh.
We're also kind of looking for him. Like, if he ran in there and got them, something happened to him. So we can go on
So,
and arrest
so
him.
the thing is that they already knew where those relics were. They're all in the same place. They just want us to go make sure they're fine and bring them back because
Or
they're like,
like-
oh no.
The guy who was sent to go find them, and he apparently thought they were in there. That's all that we know. And that's all the contact she had with him.
And they were in there because maybe Sam Valhane had them and put them in there.
We have no idea. And she had
Oh.
no idea why they would be in that warehouse.
Okay, interesting.
But if
Okay.
anybody, I feel like one of us has the find object spell? Or locate object? Does someone have that, or did I make that up?
I don't think I have that. No, I don't.
And does anybody have like locate person? Because if we could find Philandrel or whatever the sacred text guy was, then that would be helpful.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm Bard.
I'm Bard.
I'm Bard.
I have no magic. I don't know how magic works. Because Grace is too scared to play a spellcaster. That's the real reason. One of these days, guys, I'll be a spellcaster.
Hell yeah. I look forward to that day.
Like Kaya tried, but wasn't really.
Alright, so what are we doing? Okay.
Going to the warehouse, I guess.
Who are you taking with you? Karina is still out delivering messages.
Wait, what time is
Right?
it? When do I have to be back for my guard duty?
Sundown.
True. Okay. So is it like
Sundown
noon?
now?
No, at sundown is when you need to be
And the time is
back.
Yeah.
the current
It's like
time.
noonish, right?
No, it's still, because all you guys have done is send messages, arrange
Chat
some
with
things.
some
Yeah,
agreements.
no, you're right. It's around noon.
It's noon. Because I was meeting them at like 11ish or something.
Yeah.
So I would say
Um,
everybody who's...
Damya could prepare locate object for tomorrow,
But we would be out of
does not
time.
have it prepared
Yeah,
for
with
today,
the
so.
timeline. Yeah.
So yeah,
So here's-
who's going?
Because I actually feel a little bit better leaving the commune here because there appears to be more people and like more just general, we're now part of hooked into the neighborhood. So I would say leave them here, and when Karina comes back, she can look after them.
Okay.
So I would say all of us.
Okay, so we have Vera, you've got Damya with you, Constantine, you've got Elmania,
Yeah.
Karina's off. Oh, Darina, there we go. So I know there was another one. Who else? Who else is here?
I think that's all of us, right?
Damya. Oh, Shoji.
Shoji. Look at Shoji. Yeah, I'm curious to see what she would say about the Bremen thing. We'll ask Beth.
I'm too.
And
Yeah,
Galana.
because I don't know. She's
That
kind
is
of her own
cute.
thing.
There we go. Okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Before we go, who was the person? Was it Almania or was it Damya who helped me with sending this morning?
I
Damya.
hope to. Oh, really? I thought
Oh.
I did, but
Oh, okay.
that's fine. If it
Yeah,
was
you-
Damia, then that's great.
Yeah, because then
Oh,
I might
yeah,
ask
Damya.
the other person to, burn the spell slot to answer back and give the Vremens the information of who's in and who's out. Or give Theodosia that information and say, here's what I got. This is the party members that are in, and that is the promise.
I think you need to level up to a level 3 spellcaster, Ma, with the amount of messages you sent.
I know, I'm so sorry. The problem is I built a character who is very, like, family-based and is entirely based on other people. Like, needs to be in contact with other people. So, yeah.
So, Almania, do you want to use the slot, or are you going to have Damya use hers?
I'll use the slot. I can
Okay.
use one.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to make sure it was, like, one at each of you, so, like, you aren't burning all your
Okay.
slots.
So
Yeah.
as far as Theodosia knows,
We're in.
okay.
Karina, Damya, Almania, Vera are committed. Darina and Constantine are not.
Distant.
Yes.
Message comes back. Oath. Do everything within power to establish Vreeman authority after Samvelhain defeated.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down word for freaking word because oaths are
I mean,
important. So
What's the timestamp? We've been running for This is what I have to do now. Sometimes I just come back and watch it and write down the text.
do everything in my power.
Do everything in
To-
power to establish Freeman authority in the city after Samvelhain is defeated.
Okay, to establish Bremen authority in the city.
So this is from Theodosia. Binding me, please confirm.
After Samvelhain's defeat. So by binding her, does it mean that she's the only one who suffers if we break that oath? Okay. Well, I'll swear it.
Okay. Good. So Theodosia then is now bound by the good faith effort of Damia, Karina, Almanya.
Oh, Galena. What does Galena
I'd have
say?
I'd have to ask Jenny and Beth about Galena and Shoji, but we'll just add those in later or not. Are bound by. Sorry, she is now bound by your good faith effort to establish the Vreemans in Onishere after Samvilhane is defeated.
Okay.
Alrighty. So that happens. You will need to use another slot to confirm that is the oath that you're all willing
That's so
to
irritating.
send. So Almanya or Damia?
I'd say go with Damia because I want to be able to use Thunderstep. At least once, and Fireball possibly once,
So
in case something goes horribly wrong today.
Damia will send the conversation, and she reports. She responds, time and place.
No, we're not doing this.
Okay.
Wait, time and place for what? Oh wait, time and place for, I'm sorry, I'm like, time and place to meet again to confirm? It means time and place for the thing. Okay. Can we just say that we included that in the agreement? Because
Sure,
we can't burn this many slots.
That'll be fine. Okay.
Do you want me to just have no third level spells?
This is ridiculous.
Okay, so you guys are great, and again, you're saying tonight at the compound.
Tonight at the compound, outside the gates. Yes, and I'll give a time tonight. It's like 1 a.m. tonight.
Okay.
We'll just say midnight. It sounds nice and epic. Midnight tonight.
Okay.
The Midnight Steak Team.
So you guys head to the.
We're gonna eat steaks and steak vampires.
So I assume then that you guys are headed to kind of that location where you burned down a warehouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally am going to be stealthing. I don't know about the rest
All right,
of y'all.
give me a general stealth check from everybody here.
Can Shoji cast Pass Without a Trace?
Shoji can, so add 10 to the number.
Awesome.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh man. 30.
30.
Because you are wearing plate, yes.
16.
16 with disadvantage?
Well, with
Plus
the
10?
plus 10, so.
Oh, right. So
Yeah,
6.
that's what I'm saying.
That's amazing. Oh.
It's the best.
Cool. So that's okay. So Constantine 16. Almanya?
With you said with a plus 10?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's that.
That's 22.
Okay, Vera?
30.
Like the night. Shoji with a 14 and Galena. Okay, well that one's gone. With a 27. More than that actually, because that's just a raw 17. But I'm not gonna waste time looking stuff up. That's pretty damn good. That would beat an ancient red dragon. Okay. You guys sneak through the city. Woo! Okay. Sneaking through the city, you eventually make it to the kind of the clearing. But what you notice as you go through the streets is that this time there are cultists on the roofs, kind of scattered on the area, with just a motley assortment of slings and stones, crossbows, short bows, piles of rubble to throw down on people, just kind of scattered a little bit in the area. You guys...
Fool me once.
What is it?
Fool me once. Shame on you.
You guys manage to get through a couple of times. Vera or Galena kind of climbs up a roof, chokes one out, stabs him in the back, whatever, and you guys gradually creep through to find a large street in between you and a mass of blackened rubble. Almost all that remains is the stone foundation that was about 5 feet high, although even that is broken in places. All of it smoke blackened. There's just huge timbers and spars that have collapsed in the interior, scattered around the street outside. And that is what you guys see, other than kind of the people on the roof.
Cool. I suppose this might be a dumb question, but do we see, as in the street, like any signs of... How long ago did we burn this warehouse? That's a good question. A few days?
When did we burn this down again?
When did we burn this down? It was really cool.
4 days ago.
4 days ago. Has it rained in those 4 days?
That's a D12. Yes, it rained.
He's rolling percentile die to see, like, well, it was 60% chance of rain in the area.
It rained 2
showers.
2 days ago. Yes, there is a chart for weather.
Yeah.
I love it.
I just don't usually roll unless it's relevant.
Yeah, so any, like, signs of movement away from it would probably be washed out by now.
It's all Stone Street. This is one of the main boulevards through the city. So it is cobblestone.
Mm-hmm. Here's a question. As we've been seeing all these cultists on the roof, and we might have asked this before, but does anybody seem to be in charge?
I mean, there's give me a perception check from Vera. Almanya, what are you doing?
Yeah, I just kind of, I want to rummage through, as well, see if I can find anything.
So are you walking across the street to the building?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Sneaking, hopefully.
Constantine, what are you
So
doing?
I'm still sneaking. But I want to go rummage.
So it's just a wide open street and then the thing that they burned down.
Yes.
And we're in like some
We're good
alleyway.
at burning things down.
Yes. You guys are in an alley, peering out at very large rectangular structure now burned to the ground, other than the stone foundations. There is a wide boulevard that comes from in the direction of the city wall that then splits and goes on either side of this building.
Is there any cultists like on the buildings that we're next to?
Not in the building or on the street, but they are on the roofs around the area.
So if we went to walk, there's a potential of them seeing us.
Are you waiting to see what happens as Almanya steps out into the street? Or are you going to do something before that?
Probably a good idea. I'll wait.
Okay. Almanya, you step out into the street with a 22. You step out into the street, walk across, get to the building, kind of as you're halfway over the wall. Well, no. We'll roll for this. Oh, well, as you're halfway over the wall, you in the alleyway and Almanya hear shouting, "There it is!" And I need everybody to roll initiative.
And it's gonna have to be a cliffhanger because
I was saying.
45.
Almanya, what's your armor class?
Oh, girl.
It's a 15.
A 15. Okay. You take 4 points of piercing damage as 3 crossbow bolts come hurtling towards you. 2 of them shatter against the stone next to you. One of them slams into your armor and doesn't quite pierce through to you, but you're definitely going to have a bruise there. So, let's get initiative. 25, there's only 3 of you. Vera, 10?
Hold on.
Constantine?
20.
20?
Nice.
I am also a 20.
Okay. What is your dexterity modifier, Almanya?
3.
3? And yours is 2? Okay, so we'll do Almanya 21st. Okay.
Can I
and-
clarify? So sorry. I did do that perception check and it was a 23. Any cultists in
23.
charge?
Nobody appears to be in charge that you can tell of, that you can pick
Determine.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
With a 23, there are 7 cultists on the roofs nearby.
Okay.
7 within immediate range. Several of them are definitely shouting kind of over rooftops in different directions. And yes, let's leave that as a cliffhanger, and we will come back
Sorry, audience.
and enter right into combat next week. And then I think this day, tonight in game, we're bouncing around portals.
Yep.
And
Except for me.
right, and then the next morning, you guys are attempting to assassinate Sam
Then-
Felhain.
Yep.
Oh my
the
gosh!
torso down.
It's the opening moves. I see it. I hadn't forgotten actually. I actually remembered. It's great. Okay. I'm giving something away to somebody.
Wait,
somebody...
no. As the cultist hits Almania, he yells, "Oh, by the way, we have a winner on our giveaway."
Yep. There it is, chunk. Now, if you're watching this evening, I wrote down a name. MD Beards has been randomly selected to get some cool stuff. I don't know if you've ever played 7th Sea. I got to play it once, and in general, it's Princess Bride, the role-playing game, and it's awesome. So you get a sortie deck. I don't actually know what that is.
No, either, but it sounds fun.
It's 78 cards, 22 major arcana and 56 minor arcana. Beautifully illustrated. You get a 7th Sea DM screen and a dice bag, which is all awesome. I don't know how you claim this because I forgot to ask my producer, but we will figure out how to get to this to you somehow. I see. My producer is saying I will contact them. Great. MD Beards, be on the lookout for contact so that you can claim your stuff. Cool. I have other things.
I was like, oh my gosh, what if I'm the person that they chose? Because I've been following
me?
it
Right?
for forever.
I follow us on
Is it
Twitch.
me?
Yeah.
Was I in the? No, I think there's a rule against that.
Congratulations, MD Beards.
Anyway, yes,
thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you for
Yes,
following us.
please continue to worship the RNG gods, and we hope you keep watching. Thank you so much for joining us. This is to everybody now. For joining us this evening. We hope to see you again next week as things really heat up. Oh my gosh, the first shots are about to be fired in the conflict for Onishere here. In the meantime, join Becca and crew as they continue their Call of Cthulhu adventure, Horror on the Orient Express, Monday at 6:30. I will be playing Torg for the first time on Tuesday, so come watch that. You can visit our. Try it again. We have a website. It's called
I'm sorry, what?
Shh, I'm speaking. It's called iconiproduction.wordpress.com. We've got a bunch of stuff on there. You can find all of our social media information. You can find other podcasts. We have merchandise on Redbubble. You just search Iconic Product. We've got all kinds of cool stuff. We add more things the more viewers there are, so spread this to your friends, and we'll take your enemies as well. Check out my friend's YouTube channel, The Modular DM. He makes all kinds of dungeons and taverns and whatnot, walks you through the design process. You can see his thought going into it, and then he invites you to steal it and use it for your own campaigns. He does all of the hard work so that you don't have to. And finally, we are so excited to return to gaming at the studio. We are very grateful to do so with the help of Petrie's Family Games. You will be able to see some of their amazing merchandise. I said amazing the right way this time. That you can pick up here on the screen. We encourage you to visit them if you're in the area and to support your local game store wherever you are. If you do not have a local store, Petrie's has an online one. You should visit that. Otherwise, have a lovely week, and we will see you next time.